Good morning to all of you. I am going to continue the same current affairs classes. Okay, today I will upload only current affairs classes that is regularly happening. Okay, in one day or the day after tomorrow, I will upload both the classes that I have talked about earlier. So let's begin today's session. Okay, and I will repeat the same thing as earlier in the study class. I have taught you the current affairs related to the about art and culture. Okay, so today I will repeat the same one, that is art and culture related current affairs. It's so important one because ultimately almost one or two question definitely is going to be asked by UPSC in preliminary examination. Okay, so as I have told you that current affairs related to art and culture. Okay, yesterday I have also covered the same one, but the topic was different. Okay, yesterday I have covered two important topics. Right now I am trying to cover 3 or 4 important topics. Okay, from these topics actually UPSC is definitely going to ask 1 or 2 preliminary question. It is 100% sure. Okay, because according to GI tag, geographical indication tag, UPSC will definitely ask question from last 4 to 5 years. So it is more probable, okay, to ask the same kind of on the traditional thing. Okay, if not asking, then otherwise it's too helping for mains examination too. So stay with us. I am going to continue today's session. So you will see the first topic today. Okay, so moving to the next slide that will show you the first topic of today's session. See, it is about Gorakhpur terracotta. Have you heard the name Gorakhpur? It is in UP. Okay, and the terracotta is a material. Okay, clay like material, glossy, fine. It is in several things. Okay, so don't go deep inside that in which terracotta is being used and what is terracotta actually. Okay, if UPSC will ask the question based on Gorakhpur terracotta in preliminary examination, then ultimately it will be based on facts, not based on the terracotta especially, but based on the truly facts about Gorakhpur terracotta especially. Okay, so I am moving to the next slide and we will see some facts related to Gorakhpur terracotta. So I am reading words by words clearly. I hope I am audible to all of you. Okay, so just see the slide. If it is visible to all of you, if anyone is blur little bit, then even you can hear me properly. Okay, because I am using the most simple language of English. So let's see. Gorakhpur has got a geographical indication tag. Okay, yesterday I have also taught you that what is geographical indication tag. Today itself I will also tell you and explain that what is actually geographical indication tag, that is in short form GI tag. Okay, so the city that is Gorakhpur, the area that is Gorakhpur actually has got a geographical indication tag. Okay, so in the continuously time many cities got geographical indication tag due to some reasons. So why Gorakhpur has got geographical indication tag? Because of terracotta of Gorakhpur. Okay, so Gorakhpur has got a geographical indication tag for its traditional terracotta craft. Okay, so again a question may come, preliminary type question, that Gorakhpur has got geographical indication tag for its newly discovered terracotta craft. Okay, so that statement will be incorrect because that is not newly discovered. Okay, newly discovered, it's a traditional terracotta craft. Fine, so I am repeating the same thing again. Okay, so you have to just revise it, the whole things. Gorakhpur, the place Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh in UP has got a geographical indication tag, that is GI tag. Okay, for its traditional terracotta craft. Okay, traditional terracotta craft. So you have to remember this one. Okay, that is traditional terracotta craft. So I am moving to the next slide. I hope it is clear to all of you that the town Gorakhpur has got geographical indication tag because of its traditional terracotta craft. Okay, so now I will move to the next slide. Okay, now it's time for all of you to know about what is actually geographical indication tags. Okay, yesterday you have also heard about geographical indication tag. Right now I am also explaining about the geographical indication tag. So ultimately you have the right to know about that what is geographical indication tags actually. So what is geographical indication tag or what is GI tag in short form, you must know about it, otherwise you will not got the whole things. Okay, so now I will tell you some facts. Okay, means the definition type overview of geographical indication tags. Fine, so I am moving to the next slide for the explanation of GI tags, geographical indication tags. So see students, GI tags means geographical indication tags are guaranteed. Okay, are guaranteed means are given. Okay, are given to the some special purpose. Okay, so for some special thing. Okay, so geographical tags are guaranteed and given for produce or products. For two things geographical indication tags has been given. Okay, for two things. One is if there is any kind of produce, okay, means production, or otherwise any kinds of products means finally products. Okay, not raw materials, it's a final product. So GI tags are guaranteed for produce or products. Okay, just remember the products. Or produce means rice, like produce means rice, wheats, okay, pulses, okay, flowers, okay, fine. So these are produce, okay, not real products. Okay, fine, real products are something different. So GI tags are guaranteed for produce or products originating, remember this fact, originating from and having unique qualities. Okay, if the places at which you are living, any one of the place, okay, at which you are living right now, if that place has any a special kind of unique produce or products, okay, developing means producing in the same area, then that is actually the uniqueness of that area. Okay, so it is possible that for that produce or that product, that area may be given for GI tags. Okay, particularly for that, especially, okay, GI tags especially for which one, especially for that produce or products. So it is the same one. Okay, I am repeating the whole things again from here to last point. Okay, GI tags are guaranteed or given for producing or products originating from and means originating at that place. Okay, and having unique qualities, that should have some unique qualities that other will not have. Okay, you are an unique student, fine, that others not have, that's why you can qualify this examination. In the same way you will understand that if that products or produce originating from any specific area and having unique qualities, any kind of unique qualities about that produce or that products corresponding to a geographical area. Okay, so earlier I have told about Gorakhpur terracotta. Okay, so the terracotta are of different kinds, okay, found in different places, but the terracotta of Gorakhpur has got GI tags because that terracotta which has been used from traditionally time, okay, from ancient times in Gorakhpur, that has some special, some unique kind of quality. For that unique quality of that kora that is found in Gorakhpur, okay, that's why it was given a geographical indication tag to Gorakhpur. I hope this one is clear to all of you. Okay, so we will not term that if Gorakhpur is located in UP, so we will not say that GI tags has been given to UP. Okay, GI tags has been given to, we will say that it is given to Gorakhpur. Gorakhpur, okay, only for Gorakhpur, not the whole state, because it is possible that in UP, okay, in many towns or many geographical, specific geographical area, some GI means geographical indication has been earlier given or in future it may given. So we will know it about Gorakhpur terracotta. Fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you. Till now all the slides should be clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see the tags, means the GI tags, geographical indication tags, that has been given, okay, to anyone, okay, to any particular geographical area. So the GI tags gives exclusive right, okay, means if I am covering this UPSC syllabus, okay, on my behalf, on my name, then no one has the right to copy paste my video. Okay, so it is my exclusive right. Fine. In the same way, the GI tags that has been given exclusively right, that is an exclusive right, okay, exclusive right to its holders. To its holders means like terracotta is being used in Gorakhpur, okay, some special qualities, some unique qualities. Fine. So there is something, some holders, okay, who will use this terracotta. Definitely it is not the whole Gorakhpur who will use this terracotta. There is some special craftsmen actually who will use this terracotta for the purpose of making some special things. So those rights will be given exclusively to those holders who are being using this Gorakhpur terracotta. So only those holders have the right, exclusive right, not the right, exclusive right to use that Gorakhpur terracotta, okay, and that is why the GI tags has been given. So the GI tag gives exclusive right to its holders, like this class has my exclusive rights, okay, it is my exclusive rights that what kind of video I will upload. No one has right, exclusive right to upload my videos, only except I will give the permission. Fine. So in the same way, you should understand it that the GI tags give exclusive right to its holders over the uniqueness of the product. Why it is given to exclusive right to some holders? Because there will be some uniqueness, some special things that is not present or available to other holders, okay, other holders or in other places, okay, like Allahabad is also present in Uttar Pradesh. So it is possible that terracotta is being also used in Allahabad, in the state of same state, that is UP. So the terracotta holders in Allahabad will not have that kind of exclusive right as the holders of terracotta holders of Gorakhpur, okay. So why, now compare, why the terracotta holders of Gorakhpur have exclusive right and in comparison with terracotta holders of which one, Allahabad, okay. So because the terracotta holders of Gorakhpur has some special uniqueness in their terracotta. Fine. That's why it is been given to as termed as exclusive right to that particular holders, to those particular holders. So I hope this slide is clear to all of you. I am explaining the whole things again and in such a simple way that if you will not understand in one time, then you should look the video again, okay, again just backing the video 2 to 3 minutes and see the video again two times, 3 times, 4 times. If again it's not clarified, then you can contact me as you are contacting to our team regularly. So I'm moving to the next slide, okay. Now let's see some other facts about Gorakhpur terracotta. Okay, this right means this exclusive right that has been given to the holders of that has been given for GI tags. So this right, okay, also ensures means making sure that none other than the right holders, means now compare with Allahabad terracotta holders and Gorakhpur terracotta holders, none other than, with examples, none other than, in this example means none other than which one, Gorakhpur terracotta holders, to claim or use the product name, okay, or use the product name. If Gorakhpur terracotta has got GI tags, then Allahabad terracotta holders or even Maharashtra state in anyone like Pune terracotta holders, if any places, if that is being as terracotta, okay, terracotta is being found there, then none other has the right to use the name of Gorakhpur terracotta, okay, none of the right except Gorakhpur terracotta holders. So I am repeating again, this right that has been given to those specific holders also ensures that none other than the right holders, okay, means the correct holders, to claim or use the product name attributing to its geographical origin. Fine. It means Allahabad terracotta holders can sell terracotta and use terracotta in names of Gorakhpur terracotta, but it is not possible that Allahabad terracotta will use Gorakhpur terracotta and given its name as Allahabad terracotta. No, it is not. It is not have the right of Allahabad terracotta holders. I am giving this kind of examples for making easily understandable to all of you. Okay, I am repeating it again, that Allahabad terracotta holders can use a Gorakhpur terracotta holders with the name of Gorakhpur terracotta holders, but Allahabad terracotta holders cannot say that and sell the product of Gorakhpur terracotta holders in the name of Allahabad terracotta holders. It is not have the right to Allahabad terracotta holders. I am giving this example so that you will easily clarify to all these doubts. Okay, so I hope till now here it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide, that I am covering some other aspects of Gorakhpur terracotta. See, the entire work means, see, terracotta is being used in making different kinds of pottery and some like that. Okay, that is actually glossy look. Okay, glossy look, a clay like material and have glossy look. So the entire work that is done during the usage of terracotta, okay, Gorakhpur terracotta particularly, not I am talking about general terracotta. So the, see, craftsmen of Gorakhpur terracotta, okay, craftsmen of Gorakhpur terracotta actually use that terracotta in making the products, and the entire work by those craftsmen in making those products. Okay, are you getting me or not? The entire work that is doing by the Gorakhpur terracotta craftsmen by making the products, okay, by Gorakhpur terracotta is done with bare hands. Bare hands means not making that products with any kinds of machines, only with the hands. Okay, bare means in, I hope in English you have written about bare infinitive. Okay, if not then you can see on Google, search on Google. Bare means only single. Okay, so single usage means bare hands means only making by hands. Okay, it's my bare right, okay, to set this video at the same time. It's my bare right, none of other rights. Okay, it's my bare rights. In the same way, this entire work is done with bare hands, not even using by the machines. And artisans that actually using the materials means craftsmen, artisans use natural color. Remember these two facts. Okay, this may be asked at any time APSC. It is one of the most probable question in preliminary in art and culture section. Even in mains it can be asked too. So first thing, by bare hands. Second things, just using only natural color. Okay, not artificial color. Okay, which stays fast for a long time. Actually, when you will use natural color instead of artificial color, then that natural color will stay for and survive for a longer period if you use that in a proper way. Okay, so the same things here written itself. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see, the first topic is covered. Okay, I don't have the need to cover more facts about Gorakhpur terracotta because that will be more lengthy and even that is not worthy for our preparation. Okay, for the preparation of UPSC. Till the point whatever we should read for the preparation of only for UPSC, I will teach you only at that aspects, not less than that, not more than that. Okay, I am knowing that not more than that can be asked. Okay, less than can be asked, but apart from whatever I am teaching you right now, okay, even 0.1%, not more than that we asked. That is for sure. Okay, so now I am moving to the second topic. Okay, and that is some kinds of a special thing. That is, look, it is some difficult name. It may possible that even I get hesitate in reading this name, but just giving an overview of this name. Okay, it is Kovil Pati Katalai Mithai. I am repeating it again. Kovil Pati Katalai Mithai. Okay, Mithai. Kovilpati Kadalai Mithai. Okay, are you hearing me or not? It's Kovilpati Kadalai Mithai. Okay, Kovilpati Kadalai Mithai. I hope I have repeated it 4 to 5 times. That is Kovilpati Mithai. Kovilpati Kadalai Mithai. Now I will not repeat the same thing again. Okay, I hope till now you have heard it again and again. So you have memorized this one. So now I will tell you that actually which place it belongs to, this mithai. Okay, so I am moving to the next slide. Now let's see that actually where this region, okay, which region is this kinds of mithai actually belongs to. So now let's see. Tamil Nadu sweets. Now if you will read the name again, then you will get confused, but I will repeat the name. Tamil Nadu's Kovilpati Kadalai Mithai, okay, was Garden State. Okay, was Garden State geographical indication tag. Fine, it means here itself something written. Okay, was given. Here is was given. Okay, was given. So Kovilpati Kadalai Mithai belongs to the state of Tamil Nadu. Okay, it means you can analyze now that whenever I was talking about Gorakhpur terracotta, then I am not talking about UP terracotta. Why? Because see, the terracotta used in Gorakhpur was some kind of a special uniqueness, and that terracotta was mainly founded and used in Gorakhpur especially. That's why that GI tax was given not for the whole Uttar Pradesh or UP, but specifically for Gorakhpur. But you can see that here it is Tamil Nadu is written. Why there is not any specific place of Tamil Nadu has been written? Now you can analyze, because you are an UPSC aspirant, so you must analyze. Okay, but I am telling you that why there is not any specific region of Tamil Nadu be written. Apart from that, the whole Tamil Nadu has been written. It means this mithai is actually so popular and so founded. Okay, founded almost all the regions of Tamil Nadu. That's why here it is the Tamil Nadu GI tag. Fine. So look what is the difference. Even an interviewer can ask if your optional is history, okay, or even it is not the optional related to your history, then even the interviewer may ask based on the some current affairs type questions. It is possible that why Gorakhpur terracotta is not given GI tags for the whole UP, and the Kovilpati Kadalai Mithai was given the GI tags for the Tamil Nadu, not for any specific region of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so at that time you will get confused. So prepare yourself in such a way that you are prepared for any kind of things, okay, for any situations at any time. Okay, fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you. It is also been given a GI tags. What is GI tags? I hope it is clear to all of you. So related to GI tags, almost one or two questions is definitely being asked by UPSC in preliminary. Okay, if it may possible that it may be asked in alternate years, and even sometimes it is repeated, okay, on years and years again, because it's so an important one. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So now I will move to the next slide. See, the second topic is over, because about that product there is nothing more details or the actually the important details to tell me. Okay, if UPSC will ask about that a specific product related to Tamil Nadu, then only UPSC will ask that to which region it is belongs to. Okay, and has been given as GI tags. Fine. Even it is asked by UPSC preliminary question that products will be given. Okay, products will be given one side, produce or products will be given. Fine. And the statement of the question will say that which of the following produce or products has not been given as the GI tags till now, and 4 products will be given. Okay, even it is possible that 4 regions has been also been given. So you must be remember that which product has been given as GI tags in recent times, means a maximum 1.5 years. That's why I am covering this. If I want, then I will cover only 6 months current affairs and its classes will be over, but I am not going to do that. Okay, so now our today's third topic, that is, see, Sohrai Khobar painting. It is some special kind of painting, that is Sohrai Khobar painting. you have here different kinds of painting, but it is not for your choice, it is for your examination. Okay, so remember this name as like I am remembering this Sohrai Khobar painting. So we will see about this painting, a specific painting, and we will also see that to which location it belongs to and whether this Sohrai Khobar painting has got GI tags, means geographical indication tag till now or not. Okay, so now I am moving to the next slide and tell about some facts related to the Sohrai Khobar painting. Okay, first of all I have to raise it, otherwise it will not visible to all of you. So let's see about Sohrai Khobar painting. So Sohrai Khobar painting is Jharkhand painting, Jharkhand's painting. Okay, it is a specific painting related to a specific region, area, and that is the state of whole Jharkhand. Fine, which was given the geographical indication tag. So a two question, preliminary question based on this Sohrai Khobar painting. Okay, the first question, that actually which area or which state this kind of painting, that is Sohrai Khobar painting, actually belongs to. So it is the Jharkhand. Okay, Jharkhand. And the second question is that till now is or whether the Sohrai Khobar painting of Jharkhand has got the GI tags or not. Okay, so your option should be yes. Okay, UPSC will not ask the question in yes or no, but a statement will be given. Okay, 4 statements will be given. So in any statement it is possible that it may be asked that till now a Sohrai Khobar painting has not been given as GI tags. Okay, so it must know about that whether this product has got the GI tags or not. That's why I am covering the whole products that has got the GI tags in almost 1.5 years. Okay, because anyone can be asked. Anyone cannot be sure that only about some specific products question may be asked. Any type of question may be asked. Even any unexpected question may be asked. Fine. So be prepared about that kind of your quality or momentum too. Okay. Be confident in yourself. Fine. So I am moving to the next slide. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now see some special things like you have heard Sohrai and Khobar. Okay. So now I will tell you that what is the means of Sohrai and what is the means of Khobar in this painting specifically. Okay, when you will search about Sohrai on net, then you can see something else. Okay, but that is not for our importance. When you will search Khorai, then that is even Khobar, then that is also not given the specific result. So I will tell the whole things that what is actually Khobar and what is actually Sohrai for that painting specifically, because it may be asked, it is possible. Okay, any unexpected question can be asked. So be prepared about that kind of question. Okay, I hope I am not consuming more times. Fine. So the time will be even the. So let's see. Khobar. Okay, Sohrai Khobar. Just I am writing the whole names. Okay, it is Sohrai Khobar. Okay, so I am dividing it in two parts. One is Sohrai, another is Khobar. So first of all, I will tell you about what is Khobar. What does actually Khobar means? Okay. So let's see. Okay, fine. So Khobar refers to the decoration of the marriage chambers. Okay. So see, Khobar refers to the decoration of the marriage chambers. Means whenever any kinds of a marriage celebration, okay, or marriage ceremonies will happen in Jharkhand area, then it is possible that Khobar is being used. Okay, so Khobar actually refers, means Khobar refers or Khobar is termed as the decoration of the marriage chambers, specifically in Jharkhand region. Okay, and Sohrai, now I will come on this part, that is the first part. Okay, first part. Khobar is over. Now I will come on the first part, that is Sohrai. So Sohrai, I hope the time is not consuming extra. Okay, one. So now let's say about Sohrai. Sohrai is the harvest painting on the mud houses. Okay, mud houses. I am reading the whole things again from here to here. Only after that I will explain you the whole things in a easy way. I am reading it. Okay, till chambers it is clear. Sohrai is the harvest painting on the mud houses, repairing it after the rains and offering a thanksgiving to the forces of nature. It means, see, Sohrai is the harvest painting. It means, see, whenever a rain, heavy rain, okay, have taken place in any specific region, and mud houses, okay, mud houses, I hope you have seen mud houses in village area, in remote areas, okay, in rural areas. So on those mud houses, if heavy rainfall will happen, then definitely mud will float from that house to other locations, or that house, it is possible that that house may be damaged little bit or even more. So whenever that mud houses will be damaged, and after damaging, when rain will be over, then definitely the householders of that mud houses will have to repair it, because they have to live in that mud house. So they will repair it after the rains and offering a thanksgiving. Okay, so people in Jharkhand who are living in mud houses, okay, houses made up with bricks and muds almost, or only with muds, it is possible. So those people actually repair their houses after the rain will over, okay, and giving a thanksgiving, okay, offering a thanksgiving to the forces of nature. Okay, means even their house is being damaged, yet they are giving thanks to the nature. Okay, see how it actually beautiful. Okay, you can even put this kind of example in GS paper 4, that is in ethics. Okay, apart from that, you can use these kinds of examples in interview too, if this kinds of question may be asked. Okay, you can be see that during earthquakes or during tsunami, okay, tsunamis or anything. So look how this is being damaged, the mud houses, yet, okay, yet the people of Jharkhand actually are giving thanks to the nature. So Sohrai is the harvest painting. Okay, it is termed as the harvest painting. Okay, on the mud houses, means after during the repairing of those mud houses, when rain will be over, means when rain will be over, repairing will happen on those mud houses. So this Sohrai is the harvest painting. Okay, it's types of harvest painting which is actually being made, designed on those mud houses. So I hope what is actually Khobar means and what is actually Sohrai means, it is clear to all of you. Even if you are not getting the whole things, then at least remember that Khobar means Khobar part is refers to some kinds of decoration. Okay, and Sohrai is some kinds of making designs, means harvest painting on mud houses. Okay, even if you are able to remember it, then it's 100% okay. Okay, don't any kinds of hesitation about that slide. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. Now our third topic is clear to all of you. There is nothing more important facts related to that Sohrai Khobar painting. Okay, as the perspective of our CSE examination. Okay. Now I am coming to the fourth topic of today, that is black rice. Black rice. All of you know about rice, but here I will teach you about specifically about black rice. Okay, what is black rice and at which location it is actually situated and it is actually grown. Okay, where it is grown as commercial purpose or something, the purpose is something else, or whether black rice has got geographical indication tag or not. Okay, so 3 to 4 questions can be asked based on black rice. Okay, so I am moving to the next slide, and that will tell you some facts related to black rice. See, Chak Ho. Okay, Chak Ho. This name may be looking some kinds of different things like Chinese name. Okay, but this is not a Chinese name. Okay, Chak Ho, the black rice. It is called as the black rice. We know about this is as black rice, but the region, the area where it is actually grown, in that region, that black rice is called as Chak Ho. Okay, Chak Ho. So you have to remember it, because Chak Ho will be given, and even it is possible that that terracotta will be name given. Okay, Gorakhpur terracotta. Okay, it is also known as Gorakhpur terracotta. So you have to remember this kinds of fact. So the first question in the first sumland is, it is also known as Chak Ho in the place where it is being originated. So Chak Ho, the black rice of Manipur. So let's see, it is founded in the northeastern states of India, that is Manipur. So which area Chek Ho or the black rice is actually belongs to? It is ultimately the state of Manipur. Okay, so in the whole Manipur it is actually being grown. Okay, because there is nothing a special means any specific area has been given inside Manipur, so we will understand in that way, like this has been grown in the almost in the whole regions of Manipur. Okay, so first of all, black rice is also known as Chek Ho, and it is founded in, it is grown in Manipur. Okay, and also the third question is whether it has got the GI tags. So yes, definitely it has got the GI tags, because if that product has not gone GI tags, then I will not teach you. Okay, I am teaching you those products which have got GI tags. Okay, and you will, if you will know that which products has got GI tags, then you will also know about that apart from these products, the remaining products have not got GI tags in recent past. Okay, in 1.5 year. So yes, it is got geographical indication tag, belongs to Manipur. The black rice is known as Chek Ho in Manipur. Fine. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide, and that will tell something details about black rice Chek Ho. Okay, so moving to the next slide. Now let's see. Black rice is indigenously of northeast. Okay, means it is not grown in north side, western side or southern side, not even in central India. It is particularly indigenously belongs to northeast region. Okay, northeast region, it means here it is northeast written, means this Chek Ho or black rice has also grown in some other parts, but in only in few quantities. But Manipur, in Manipur it has been grown in larger quantities. That's why Manipur has got GI tags. So it is indigenously in northeast, grown in northeast, and extensively grown in Odisha, West Bengal and Jharkhand too. It has a medicine importance because it is a medical importance. Okay, medicines in traditional time, medicines was being making. Okay, medicines was being made by this the same black Ho, that is black rice. Okay, Chek Ho. So it is also grown in extensively in a larger quantity, is also grown in Odisha, West Bengal and Jharkhand too. Okay, because ultimately it are the see, you can see it is the belonging areas of northeastern region. Odisha, West Bengal have share boundaries, even Jharkhand also share boundaries. Okay, Jharkhand, Bihar. So these kinds of states which also share boundaries at somehow, if not share boundary directly, then it is the belonging states to the northeast states of India. So I hope till now here it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. See, the dark color of black rice, why this color is black? Okay, why this color is black? There is a reason. Okay, a reason. What is that reason actually? So the dark color of black rice is due to excess means presence in higher quantity. Okay, so the dark color of black rice is due to an excess of, see, one chemical name has been given, anthocyanin. Okay, anthocyanin, you have to remember this chemical name. Okay, anthocyanin, because question may be asked in science and tech questions. Okay, I have already told you that in science and tech questions, particularly in preliminary based, 99% question, or you can say that 100% question will based on current affairs. So see, it is not a science and tech question, since it is a art and culture related current affairs, but you can see that a chemical name has been given. So in science and technology sector this question may be asked. Okay, that here some other chemical name will be given, that because of this chemical the black rice have dark color. Okay, you have to remember this name, that is anthocyanin. So the dark color of black rice is due to an excess of anthocyanin. Okay, due to an, see, a question may be given that due to a presence of anthocyanin, but that will not correct, due to presence of excess anthocyanin. Okay, read in this way, each and every word is really important for all of you. Excess, because only when there will be excession of anthocyanin, only when the color will be dark, excess. So in a powerful it is a powerful antioxidant. This anthocyanin, here it is, okay. So this anthocyanin is a powerful antioxidant, okay, antioxidant. Remember this line. Dark color due to a chemical that is excess of anthocyanin, and it is a powerful antioxidant. Even not powerful, just remember it, it is an antioxidant. So what is antioxidant and what is oxidant, I will teach you, but in science and tech lessons, okay. So I hope it is covering to all of you this slide. So I am moving to the next one, if anyone slide is remaining till now. Okay, first of all I have to erase it. Now let's see. This black rice, or known as chek ho in Manipur, is not grown for commercially, means not grown for selling purpose or commercial purpose, okay, or even not for eating purpose too, okay, as like per day eating purpose, not for commercial purpose, okay, it is not for commercial purpose, but in a small pockets, means after the gapping of few months, few days, few weeks, it is being used. So at which time it is being used, let's see. It is being used, this black rice is being used, and it is limited to use to ritual occasions. Ritual occasions means on some festival festival occasions, okay, or some any kinds of worships if happen, then this black rice will be used, okay. So it is a ritual occasions usable rice, that is black rice known as chek ho, belonging to the Manipur, got geographical indication tags, okay. It is also used in festivities in northeastern states of India. So till now here it is clear to all of you, I hope so. So if anyone is left slides, then I will cover, otherwise I will finish here itself, okay. Yes, this slide is remaining. Now let's see. This rice, sorry, here it is rice, means this black rice, that is chek ho, takes the longest cooking time. It means this rice is actually not a normal one, because of presence of anthocyanin, and that is a powerful antioxidant. Because of that reason, this rice, this black rice, takes too much time to be cooked, okay, due to the presence of fibrous bran layer and higher root fiber content. This is not useful for our examination. I have put here itself, if anyone belongs to the biology section students or science and tech related, you can remember this name, otherwise it is not as useful as others one, okay. Even it will not be asked by UPSC at all, I am sure about it. Just remember that it is and due to dark color, due to chemical name that is anthocyanin, okay, anthocyanin, sorry, and anthocyanin is a powerful antioxidant, and it takes too much time to be cooked if we compare with some other rice. So if any other slides remaining, I will cover, otherwise I will finish here itself. See, one topic is remaining, okay, and I have to cover it. I was thinking that this is our last topic, but I can finish here itself, but it's my duty to cover the whole topics that our faculty has prepared. So now see, a special festival, that is Parva. So it is called as Vishnu Sendra Parva. Vishnu Sendra Parva, okay, remember this name, Vishnu Sendra Parva. And now we will take some details about Vishnu Sendra Parva. So I am moving to the next slide, okay, for the details of which festival, which Parva, Vishnu Sendra Parva. See, Vishnu Sendra Parva, it is an animal hunting festival, means in this festival hunting of animals, okay, is being done, okay. So in this festival, animal hunting festival, it is an animal hunting festival observed by the tribals, okay, tribals peoples of Jharkhand and the neighboring Odisha and West Bengal, okay. So it is a festival, okay, the festival is an animal hunting festival which is celebrated by the tribals, okay, by the tribals people only in Jharkhand and the few parts of Odisha and West Bengal, okay. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. See, this festival okay, is a years old ritual. It is not a newly developed festival. Okay, it is a years old. Okay, it's a so years old of festival. Okay, it is a ritual performed by tribals, in which tribals from the state and bordering areas of Odisha, Bihar and Bengal. Jharkhand is included in it. Okay, Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha and West Bengal join. Actually, tribals of Bihar, tribals of Jharkhand, tribals of West Bengal and tribals of Odisha will gather at a place in their own respective state. Not all the tribals of all the four states will gather at a particular location, but means tribals of Bihar will gather at a particular place in a forest in the state of Bihar, and in the same way for other state too. So all the tribals during these festivals gather at a particular location, means in a they will hunt animals. So where they will hunt? In the forest. So they will gather in forest for hunting of animals. Okay, and the forest, they will forest of Dalma hills on the outskirts of Jamshedpur. Okay, so this festival is mainly belonging to Jharkhand, and the tribals of Jharkhand, all means all the tribals of four states, okay, actually celebrate it, but the mainly it is being used in Jharkhand. And where is located it actually in the Dalma hills, the jungles or the forests in the Dalma hills. Okay, at the location of Jamshedpur, that is situated in Jharkhand, the tribals gathering at that place. Okay, for the celebration of that festival for hunting purpose, hunting of animals and birds too. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next slide. I hope one or two slides are left. Yeah, the tribals of those regions offer animals and birds, offer to whom? Offer to their god. Okay, for fulfilling their rituals, for fulfilling their worships. So the tribals offer animals and birds at sacrifice to the local deity. Deity means their god or goddess. Okay, god or goddess. Fine. So sacrifice the animals and birds to their goddess, that is their god name is Dalma Guru. Remember this name, Dalma Guru. Okay, at Dalma hills and Dalma Guru. Fine. So till now here it is clear to all of you. Remember this name. Okay, Dalma Guru. So I hope one slide is remaining, so I will cover that too. So I am moving to the next one. See why it is being in news? Because for the first time in the history, see, for the first time, not even a single animal was killed on this festival. This is the first time. So see how the tribal people are now getting in touch with modern eras. Okay, even on the rituals festivals, okay, ritual festivals for their gods, okay, for their Dalma Guru, they have left the sacrificing of animals. In the first time in the history, for the first time, not even a single animal has been killed on this festival. That is why it is being in news. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. So I am moving to the next one. This question is most probable in all of the topics that I have covered. So here itself I am finishing the class and lecture for today's session. Okay, within after the tomorrow class I will try my best to attend all those sessions of 2 classes. Okay, so I hope today's slide all the slides is clear to all of you. So thank you to all. We will meet tomorrow morning again. Thank you so much.